Hello, beautiful people. I am Torica, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, let's get right down to business. This week marks the launch of my new web series, Advice for the Rising Stars in Music. I decided to do this because I get asked for advice on how to break into and make it in this industry from so many up and coming artists, songwriters, and producers. Since there's no way I can possibly respond to all of you individually, I figured this was the best way to address a lot of the questions that you guys email me, message me on Facebook, and hit me up on Twitter about. But before I jump into this week's topic, I want to give you guys a little background on my music career. I got my first big break as a featured artist on the Billboard chart-topping hit single Sick of Being Lonely with Field Mob on MCA and Geffen Records. The runaway success of the song led to me touring the country, performing on stages like Jimmy Kimmel and Soul Train, and it even garnered me my first Grammy nomination, which I'm very, very proud of. I later, in 2009, landed a publishing deal with Warner Chappell, which is the publishing division of Warner Music Group owned by Warner Brothers. Soon after my deal, I inked a placement on Monica's platinum-selling Still Standing album. Fast forwarding to now, as a recording artist, I'm signed to AOne Music Group, which is the imprint belonging to A1 Beats. He's a multi-platinum super producer. He's done a lot of major hip-hop tracks for artists like Rick Ross and Birdman, French Montana, and the list goes on. But I'm really excited because we recently released my debut album, A Beautiful Mess, which is available on iTunes right now. So make sure you guys go and get that. So I'm saying all of that to say that I do know the type of challenges that many of you face as either songwriters or artists trying to come up in this business. I've had the privilege of working with and getting advice from some of music's most successful creators. A lot of what I learned, though, was on my own and through trial and error and, just having experiences. While there is no ABC 1, 2, 3 manual to making it in the industry, there are quite a few things that you must do and that you must know in order to be in position to eventually compete on a high level and lead you to success. So let's jump right into our topic for the week. Our topic this week is what you must do in every studio session. Again, I repeat, what you must do in every studio session. I want to give you a second to grab pen and paper because the information I'm about to share is vital, it's important, and it's necessary. So let's jump right into it. You must fill out a split sheet for every studio session where a song is recorded, even if it's just a hook or a partial song. What is a split sheet? Some of you may be asking. Well, by definition, it's a document that states who wrote what percentage of the songs or a song recorded. This is extremely important because if the song gets placed on radio and TV or film or any other major public domain without a split sheet, people tend to get amnesia and you could end up fighting over who gets what or someone not getting their fair share of the revenue generated from the licensing or the publishing royalties earned from the song getting placed. It's a big mess and a big headache when you don't have all the information in black and white. So I suggest you have a meeting or have a conversation with the people you plan to work with before you start your studio session. Just because I know how it is when you don't want to ruin the creative vibe with the aspect of business. But regardless of how uncomfortable bringing up a split sheet may make you feel, it's extremely important that you do it and you stress to everyone that it's for the protection of their interest as well as yours. A split sheet will help you avoid a lot of future conflicts. Now that you know what a split sheet is, let's talk about the information that actually goes on a split sheet. Number 1, the name of each writer and producer as it will appear on the credits and song registration, aka your government name. Not your nickname, not the name that your homeboys call you, not your stage name, but your government name. Whatever name matches your government-issued ID should be the name that you place on your split sheet. Number 2, a physical mailing address or email address of each creator, so a copy of the completed and signed split sheet can be sent to everyone once you guys have filled everything out. Number 3, the capacity in which you worked on the song. So indicate if you were a producer or a writer. For example, if there are multiple writers and producers, assign each person a number, like writer number 1, Jane Doe, producer number 1, John Doe, writer number 2, Susie Q, producer number 2, Bob Jones, or what have you. You get the point. Number 4, the percentage of the song written or produced by each person. So if you were the only writer, you get 100% of the writer shares. If you were the only producer, you get 100% of the producer share. But if there were multiple people working on the song, you may decide to break the percentages down equally or based on that person's contribution. One person may get a higher or a lower percentage than another person. And I'll break down song components and percentages in a future webisode because I don't want to overload you guys with information this time around. So let's get back to what else goes on a split sheet. Number 5, indicate your PRO or performing rights organization, such as ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, or Sound Exchange. These 4 companies are the top 4 PROs in the US. This is who you would register your song with. And I'll go into a little more detail about the purpose of a PRO in a second. Number 6, name your publishing company if applicable. I list Warner Chappell because they administer my publishing. But if you don't have a publishing deal or you haven't set up your publishing company, that's okay. This step you can skip until you establish that. But you only leave this information out if you don't have one established or if you don't have a publishing deal. But if you do, make sure you include this. It's very important. Number 7, make sure you include your social security number or tax ID number. Now, I understand you may be reluctant or skeptical about sharing this type of confidential information with other people, but when it comes time for your PRO or performing rights organization or the TV and film and production studio to cut you a check, knowing this is very important. The last thing you want to have to do when a song gets placed is hunt down everybody who worked on it because you didn't collect their information. People change their numbers, people change their email addresses, people move. So, in business, time is money. The longer it takes you to round up everyone, the longer it's going to take you to get paid. So sometimes whoever wants to place your song, they may end up moving on to another song where they have all the information ready to go and ready to be processed. So look at it this way. Let's say you wrote a song and it was placed on a big name artist and it becomes a big hit. But you were one of the people who didn't include your information on the split sheet, or a split sheet was never even created. So someone else can take the credit for your percentage of the song or the entire song, and you miss out on millions of dollars. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly can't afford to miss out on millions of dollars. So because you didn't include your information on a sheet of paper, you could potentially ruin your career before it even gets started, so to speak. Now, let's get back to the purpose of a PRO, or a performing rights organization. And I know I keep repeating this acronym and these titles, but it's very important that you get familiar with this terminology. A PRO is a society founded by composers, authors, and publishers who collect royalties. For example, when you hear songs on the radio or in a concert arena or on an elevator, that means those songs were licensed by a company, and a company who licensed them will report to the PROs how many times the song was played. This information is then calculated and processed to determine the amount of royalties that have been earned for that song. So all of the people who appear on the split sheet for that song or songs will receive a royalty check from their PRO. So the lesson for this week is fill out a split sheet in every recording session. You can download a split sheet by visiting www.iaemagazine.com. Type split sheet in the search box on their site, and you can download it for free and make copies of it and take it to every single recording session that you have. Again, you can download a copy of a split sheet, or at least see what it looks like, at www.iaemagazine.com. So even if you've never filled out a split sheet before, go ahead and contact the people who created those songs with you and say, hey, listen, we did a song a couple weeks back or a few months ago or last year, and I want to make sure we get the proper credit assigned to the proper people if the song happens to get placed. So make sure you fill it out, put everybody's information, send everyone a copy. Include your social, your tax ID number, include your publishing company, include your government name, your percentages, so that everybody gets credit if the song were to ever, get placed. I hope today's topic has been useful information. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you tune in every Friday as I will be uploading new webisodes dealing with various topics that I know are important to people trying to come up in this business. Follow me on Twitter at Torica, and make sure you go get my new album, A Beautiful Mess, on iTunes now. Make sure you fill out those split sheets in every session from now on, or you will regret it later. Okay? Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to giving you guys insightful advice in the future. And by the way, leave your questions in the comments to this video, and I'll do my best to answer them in future webisodes. Thank you so much. Peace.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about right here. Torica. Yeah.
They don't make them like you no more. It's a good thing I snatched you up. You met me and your stocks went up. You upgraded me too. We call you hustler. Now with you it's easier. You show me what I'm worth, and now my vision